Good morning, folks. Another fun day, another fun Saturday morning here at the Manitoba homestead. We woke up this morning to squealing coming from the basement. I originally thought it might have been the blower motor in the furnace. Turns out it was water pump for the boiler, and this thing has had kind of a slow leak for a while, so I just assumed I needed to come out and fill it up. And boy was I right. But the problem is, the drain in the bottom has rusted right out. And this whole tank has drained, including all the propylene glycol that we put in here, which a 5-gallon bucket is $100. So I don't know how many of those 5-gallon buckets I put into this thing over the years. But it's all gone. Luckily it's environmentally friendly because it's all drained into the ground. So I gotta try and figure out what I'm gonna do with this. I was thinking grind it down and try and weld a plate over it, but I have no idea. Might be done for the season, but we'll see. So here's that drain that came off the back of the boiler. You see the propylene glycol that we put into the system, they claim there's a rust inhibitor in it, but it doesn't seem to be doing the trick. So my plan right now, I guess, is clean this up with the grinder, and then we'll go down and try and clean up the boiler. After closer inspection, there's almost no metal left of this. So I think I'm going to weld a patch over the hole using this. And of course, I have no cutting disc left for the grinder. So, patch it is. Well, after hacksawn for about 5.5 decades, I gave up. Now, am I the only one that has extension cords that fall apart like this? The outer insulation just pulls right out. Like, I can't be that hard on things. Maybe it's the Manitoba weather, I don't know. Every single one of my extension cords looks like this. I gotta tape them up. Anyways. I got about 15 extension cords spliced together over here so I could get to the boiler. Thanks to the property, or thanks to the house insurance. Just a little bit of snow in there, that's fine. Better contact. So we'll see if this even runs the grinder. But I'm gonna try and clean up that hole, and then we're gonna go into town. Safety squint. Huge! There's hot steam coming out of there. Right, so after a quick jaunt into town, we got our replacement parts. So I'm going to hit this with some plumber's tape, seal up this side, and then the problem is the treads on the boiler side I think have all rusted out. So I'm going to try and clean it up and see if I can tread this piece in. But I think I'm going to have to hit it with maybe the welder. But I don't think it's going to work on this galvanized steel. I'm probably going to poison myself, but you know, whatever. But then I have JB Weld as well that I'm going to try just to get a tight seal. So let's see if we can get that done. Oh! Enough. Let's try and put this in the boiler. So, in the spirit of nothing is ever easy, I had a little wire wheel, and it used to be attached to this drill. And if we can see through the steam, that wire wheel is jammed in there now. But on a positive note, those threads are cleaning up real nice. So now I'm gonna try and dig that out of there, I guess. Yeah. Ah, the steam is hot. Whoa. Nice. came out way too easy. That looks pretty good. I think we're cooking with peanut oil. Look at that. It's too hot. Yeah! Steam. It's hot. How many wraps? All of them. Holy, that pipe is hot. Ah! Good Lord. Okay. Nothing to worry about. And of course, I forgot my pipe wrench in the garage, so I gotta go get that. Right. And in case you were wondering, it was like in the positives all week. And then Saturday, today, the boiler breaks. It's like minus 23 Celsius. And I think I heard minus 30-ish in the wind chill. Luckily it's a north wind, so we're nice and sheltered in here. All right. Yep. Ow. Yep. Whew. Okay. Let's see what that does. Steaming from somewhere. Still steaming out of the bowl. Woo! Sauna. Okay. So I think that's good. I'm gonna hook up the hose and see if start filling it up and see if there's any leaks. Wow. I never. Ugh. Never easy. Oh, my spine. Is there even water coming out of this thing yet? Like, how is there even... Oh, shit. I don't understand how this is supposed to work. This is... Like, this is the hose that we borrowed because I broke the other one. Every foot is like this. Yep. Definitely gonna get water out of that. Is there anything coming out down there yet? Useless. Ugh. Nothing. Mike's pro tip number 357. If you live in a cold climate, spend the extra money and buy a heavy duty hose. I never. What about now? Ugh. Nothing. Ugh. It's never easy. Well, I've just been running back from the house trying to see if this hose is thawing out at all. But there is, I can't even get air to go through it. Okay. time, I guess. Not super warm in here. Ooh. Give it another hour, see if it thaws out some more. Yeah. Alright. 15 hours later, the hoses are thawed out. When you're rolling hoses out, it's important to remember to really yank and twist with your lower back until you get that grinding in the L4, L5, L5, S1. You know, it's right there. Alright. Now I'm gonna hook this up and I got this rigged up to keep pressure in the system. I'll explain that. Running water and electrical cords. No problem. Okay. Whoa! So you see this contraption I got on top here. I had to put that on there because when we bought the house, the boiler was up by the garage, which is probably 5 or 6 feet higher than down here. And then the house insurance said we can't insure you with the boiler right there. It had to be 50 feet from any combustible. Why? I have no idea. It's a fire encased in water. And yet they wouldn't even think about insuring me unless it was moved down here. So I had to move it down here. And then when I did that, now it's a low point. So the one in the house, the water would drain, oh sorry, the garage. The water in the garage would drain out and it would pour out the top where I have that clamp thing set up. And so to counteract it, I put that on there, and now it builds a little bit of pressure in the pump, but this doesn't seem like it's working. Now what? Minus 20 and I'm getting soaked. Great. Oh! Easy. That's hot. Woo! I know down here too now. Oh, what? Gotta ease her in there. Whoa! What's the temperature at? It's too damn hot. Great. Exciting stuff. And it got so hot that putting water in it was just turning into steam. I don't see any leaks down here yet. That's good. We'll keep an eye on that while that's filling up. Hopefully my new pipe doesn't leak. I'm just going to leave this open. Doesn't gather too much heat. And then the reason why, look at that, holy. This is supposed to be a sight gauge. I don't know if you can see that, there it is. So I just have a piece of clear pipe that runs between two tubes in here. And the propylene glycol keeps making a mess of it. Turns it like pink. And then I imagine the rust in there doesn't help. So I'm gonna switch it out while it's low. Doing it when there's water in it is usually exciting because there's water spraying all over there. That electrical box is right there, so pretty exciting. Let's see what we got. Holy, it's hot in there. Come around there. Don't cut your finger. Good. Yeah. Alright. Woo! Everything is so hot right now. Melted. Right to the dang thing. So I might wait until we get a little bit more water in here and this thing cools down. Because I think if I put a new one on here now, it's just gonna melt. Oh, it's sweet. Till we get some water in there and it cools down, and then I'll put that new line on. I mean, it's probably gonna need like an hour or more to fill up, so we'll go have lunch and then we'll come back and check it out. Well, I got to this just in time. Imagine there's water spraying everywhere. Great. Can you get on there? It's yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Pull right up. Sounds like it is. Success. He's flowing. We're full again. Yeah. Maybe? I don't know. Oh, those are soaked. Dang it. Okay. That looks good. Well, I'll be. Dare I say that was a little easier than I had expected. That's good. So you can see the way these work is there's a fan right there, and there's a temperature probe in the boiler, and you have it set to, let's say, like 160, I think I got it set to. So when the water temperature in the boiler, which is the water's being pumped into the garage in the house 24/7 basically, when the temperature drops below what you have set, the fan kicks on and then stokes the fire back up, heats the water up, and then when it goes, you can set a range like 160. Holy! Double fan going. I didn't even know that other one worked. I wired it in, but it didn't work before. Now it's working all of a sudden. But yeah, so it'll stoke up the fire, and when it reaches whatever you have set, 165 or whatever, it'll turn off. Ooh, extra gloves. Good. Well, I'm gonna button everything up here and we're done. I'm gonna put the insulation back in there and put the back on there, but the next challenge is to prime the lines, which is always fun because of the boiler being at the low spot, but we'll see. It hasn't been too difficult lately. Well, we're on to day 2. The lines weren't warm this morning, so I don't know what that was, if it's an air bubble or we had a leak. There's a panel right here. I don't know why this is here, but it's a giant hole, and there's a leak coming from it right there, right at the bottom. So maybe it leaked down overnight. Because if it leaks down to here, then it's below this. And this is where the cold water comes in, which shouldn't have drained, which shouldn't have sucked in an air bubble, but I don't know. Feeling defeated. And my thermostat has an error message on it. So I don't know what's going on there. Like, this is just spinning. Come on. Okay. A little bit of water there. Great. Dripping on the junction box. Love it. I gotta take a fiber. I don't even know how I got this out last time. Quiet down over there. Huh. Bigger screwdriver. Brought a variety. Medium screwdriver. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, well, that's calling her quits. Well, after another trip into town, we're at it again. Gorgeous day though. Yeah. I'd rather be ice fishing though. Bring it under. Woo. Progress. Stick you in here, show you what we're looking at. So that's that hole that was leaking, and then over right in there around that connection seems to be leaking as well, like it's a little bit leaky, I don't know. And so why that's there, I don't know. Maybe you know. If you do, you can let me know. Nice. Try not to drop the live extension cord in the puddle you're standing in. Yeah. Here we go. Inclined to say that's good enough for government work. This one. Cleaned up-ish. Now I'm going to see if I've got some O-rings I can put on here. Well, I bought a variety of things in town. I got some high temp gasket maker. That should be fine. And I've got this quick weld epoxy. So we're going to try a little bit of everything. Vinegar. Oops. Okay. Show you what I got going on here now. Okay, all my bolts are cleaned up. Got my gasket maker on there. Next thing is going to be putting that cover back on and trying to snug up the nuts on there, I guess. See what I'm doing? Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go see if I can find some clean ones. Try it on easier. Well, we're now on to day 3. It's another beautiful Manitoba morning. Minus 22, I believe, Celsius. Whatever that is, Fahrenheit. 10 degrees, I don't know. So, the gasket maker is all sealed up and dried now, so this has just been sitting overnight, and just because the fire is just kind of smoldering in there, it's actually boiling the water that's in there. And I've taken out the old thermostat, and that pipe is looking okay still. Right, so I took the thermostat out of here, got a new one from Cobb's in town. So the first goal, the first thing I need to try and do is get some water into this thing and cool it down before I put the new thermostat in so it doesn't melt. And then see if I can get some water through the lines before they freeze, if they haven't already. So while the boiler's filling up again, I'm gonna put this new thermostat in. I brought the old one down to show you why I was getting an error message. So there's the temperature probe on the old one versus what it should have looked like in the new one. And when it went dry, it just melted everything. Well, thanks for watching. I'll keep you guys in the loop with if I can get this thing fixed. Don't forget to hit subscribe and that little notification. Thanks for watching.